Alright guys, so welcome back. Happy June. Here we are on June 1st now. So we're going to be starting with what looks like a continuation of the AMC week right now. It doesn't look like the short squeezing and all that is done yet, because this shit is still over $30. Actually started the morning at around 30 and then went up to 31 just now. I personally would say I was more than happy riding this up from pretty much I think it was 18 to 30. So we actually went up to 36, so we practically did double that, and that was good enough. I'd avoid getting in at the top, because getting in at such a high price often leads to these, as you could already see, sudden drops, right? Where if you got in at a very low price and then there was a drop, then you're still green. But if you get in at a very high price and then there's a sudden drop, you end up being very much red. So as you can see in the 1 week window, we had joined in last week and we started at a very good low price, so we easily rolled this up to double the price. And you know, I'm pretty sure there's gonna come a day again where it'll be 13 again. This isn't the first time that this was squeezed like this either, so it'll be under 15 again, probably by the end of this month. At which point you watch and wait, and you hold on to a bunch of it, not too many of it, like maybe 10 or 20 of it when it's low, and then as soon as you see that it's meme week again, basically, and you'll definitely know it's meme week, then you go ahead and pick up a bunch of it. Now the rest of these tabs you're seeing up here are some of the things we'll be looking at today, right? So we still have our major investment KTRA, which we're waiting for the skyrocketing to happen. So it's still pretty stable, so we're obviously down on it still. This is not really doing anything crazy today. We just don't want it to go down more, but let's see. PRPO, again, we've already made pretty good trades on this, so this is another one that might go up today. We're going to keep our eyes on it. Vertex Energy did this really weird thing last week, right, where every day, basically, the day was really boring. It didn't do anything, and then overnight it would just jump up like $4, and it was pretty annoying, very unforeseen. People who pretty much held overnight, which it was pretty easy to hold because it really wasn't shifting prices that much, definitely doubled their money. And then the next day it did the same kind of thing where again overnight it just jumped up. Like, I'm not sure, it feels very illegal, whatever the heck they're doing. So it basically, you can see those big jumps that have continued happening. So last week on 26th, let me see how the week was. May had started with the 24th, so 24th to 28th, right? So you can see throughout last week it went up from $1.75 to now being almost $10, right? So that's a really weird catch, because it didn't actually increase in price in front of our eyes. It increased in price overnight, which it's a first for me. I haven't seen that happen before with something I'm actually watching. So AMC is still here just in case something. I just want to keep an eye on it. FTFT, Future FinTech, related to financial tech, is another one that might make a big move today. Over the week, it's been pretty green overall. Anyone with diamond hands would have been up 10% almost, right? But over the month, it's suffered because financial tech isn't exactly skyrocketing, with China, and of course with crypto kind of falling out of place. Liminal biosciences and most of the medical stocks I usually talk about. So liminal biosciences is one that has pretty big news coming up, basically. So if we look at what they're up to lately, then I think I was looking at this over the weekend, that they're about to get an FDA approval. Provides an update on currently planned clinical activities for get for us. That one was plasma collection. Yeah, they work on a bunch of things, but let's actually look up that medication real quick. Where's my browser? Get plus. Oh, okay, Okay, so yeah, so they're making medication for pulmonary fibrosis, which, unlike one of the companies we looked at last week that was only making antibiotics, pulmonary fibrosis is considerably problematic. Really isn't much of a treatment out there, and I believe that, you know, although they have space to go down, if this goes through, then that would be the big news for them. So again, this is another one we're just keeping our eyes on, because you want to kind of grab some of these. So the issue with these stocks, like, unlike Vertex Energy doing this overnight, which was really weird because it's like an energy stock, and as a company they're really not doing anything special. There's absolutely no reason they should have had this happen. So it was clearly a 400% rise simply based off of squeezing. That was very unpredictable. Like, after this occurred the first night, I personally was very much, you know, not sure if I should pick it up at like $4. What if it goes back down? But then the next morning it was up again, and then the next morning again. It just kept happening, and it can continue happening. I'm not sure, but again, I'm not really a fan of that. But unlike this energy group, medical stocks do actually go up overnight, and it's because that was the morning where they already had everything ready to be announced. So of course the insiders that knew picked it up. So this is just something that I'm also going to keep on my radar. And then GLMD, EVFM, and same thing with Orbital Energy, which is already, you know, starting to go up quite a bit today. As far as grabbing things though, look, as long as meme week is still going on and things like AMC and Nokia are skyrocketing, there's really not much we can do, because same thing that happened like last week basically. All of last week was pretty uneventful simply because of meme stocks being all the highlights. So there's not much we can do in that aspect. One last one I want to put on the radar just to look at is let me just find it real quick. Wow, yeah, most of the chit chat and most of the places I'm looking at is mainly just about AMC anyway, though. Which again, we can see it's at 32. Like, for me personally, I'm not too sure if I would want to grab any of this anymore. I'm not sure if today's the last day this is gonna happen, or if this is gonna keep happening throughout this week. But yeah, the last thing, if I am gonna work with a meme stock, it would probably be this one. This is the one I wanted to look at, Nokia, because it's like so much cheaper, right? And I already have 10 stocks that I was just holding for the fun of it. And if this is gonna go to like $10 by any chance, then that I would want to see, and that's really gonna depend on most of the level 2 data and the volume that it's bringing. If there's a lot of buyers, then this is worth buying and holding, and it's pretty cheap, right? So AMC is a little out of my range now, just because of that fear of it randomly dropping down big time, and then you never know when it's gonna come back up. And you don't want to be stuck holding $32 AMC by the time the next spike is coming, because then you'll just break even with that spike. So you'd end up ruining not only today, but then also end up ruining the next meme week spike that's gonna occur whenever it does occur. Let's see. So now for today, once we have 7 more minutes. For today, we're just watching right now, right? And then based off of what's already done, some of these that are worth grabbing might be worth a shot. The biggest miss of last week was this though: Vertex Energy going up 400% for no real reason. You'll see here if we put it in. Like, it's nice that, you know, it was on our radar. It was good that we saw it and we knew it could occur, but again, it was really weird. Why Vertex Energy is skyrocketing today? Like, really, no one actually knows. Most of these articles just talk about nothing actually happening. Like, Vertex Energy agreed to buy the mobile refinery in Alabama from Shell for $75 million. You know, it marked the largest, most significant transaction ever completed by Vertex, one that positions us to become a leading regional supplier of both renewable and conventional products. But again, putting you in a position to become something versus actually becoming something are two completely different things. So being in a position of having a potential is not what gives you a 400% raise, you know. So like, it's definitely related to just random pumping, and that's always scary. So nothing we can do about that. And again, if it was something based off of an actual success, then success occurs in one bump. It's usually going to be like a huge jump, like the 400% would have occurred on the same night, and then it would just be worth a much higher price the next morning because this news was announced in one day. So other than that, it continuing to just skyrocket like this was really weird. And of course, anyone that was able to ride this up 400%, congrats, good for you guys. Personally, what I'm going to be looking at today are going to be PRPO, FTFT, because these are my price ranges. I'm going to keep AMC open, which I just have it open on my screen over here because I'm not personally very much interested in picking it up today, but let's see what it does. I'm done with VTNR, so I'm going to close that out because I'm not going to try to jump in that. And then Luminal and GLMD and EVFM. Again, EVFM, let me talk about that too before the market starts. So that's another biosciences pharma stock. Again, it had its day once where it was up to $5, and then that was one achievement, and then it just came back to being a penny stock again, right? And let me go back to that achievement. So that was pretty much, let me see what day is this. This is all the way in mid-February. So February, right here somewhere, these things. Right, announces collaboration to educate oncology community, Medicaid National Drug Rebate Program. They're working on oncology, which is one good thing. That's always nice. You love pharma stocks that work with anything related to oncology stuff, and then they also work with not so significant things like chlamydia and Neisseria, which are already things we've in medicine already dealt with very well. But basically, Phexxi is their #1 product, right? It's their investigational drug for chlamydia and Neisseria. Now, although chlamydia and Neisseria, we do have treatment for it in modern day, it's still a big problem because a lot of women who do get chlamydia or Neisseria gonorrhea often don't go in for treatment because they're embarrassed or whatever, and then it goes away and the symptoms disappear, but chlamydia and Neisseria never actually go away, and then they can actually destroy the rest of your fallopian tubes and even ascend to cause systemic disease throughout your body. So all in all, it's very easy to have this destroy your life, because if it messes up your fallopian tubes, you can basically never get pregnant again, or you can get ectopic pregnancies, which is again like a failed pregnancy basically. And then a pelvic inflammatory disease, which is the big issue. So this drug that they're making, a hormone-free vaginal gel, is basically something that people can use easily without really having to worry about going in for treatment and taking antibiotics, right? Because you need a doctor to get antibiotics, but to buy this gel, you wouldn't need a doctor. You wouldn't need to actually see anyone. So if you think you have chlamydia and Neisseria, you should be able to go pick something up and treat yourself, which I 100% agree with, right? Because again, people are different, and some people are embarrassed to go in to see any doctor when they feel like they have either chlamydia or gonorrhea. And hey, this happens. So if it happens, it happens. You want to make sure you can take care of this more easily, and that's kind of what they're working on. Now, as you can see on the side too, people are hopeful. A lot of people thinking it's going to go to $3 and whatnot. Again, these people, a lot of them are actually using level 2 data and like professionals, where others are just typical general people that are trying to follow a trend. But being that this is a penny stock, I'm heavily interested, right? Because something like this, like at 0.8 cents, if it does ever go to $3, then that's going to be a big success, and it can go up much more than that, right? So last time it went up all the way to 4.7 when they had announced some good news, and over the 5-year trend, the highest it was ever worth was almost 12. So again, if they make big successful moves and get a product out that actually starts being bought by people, then that's a win. That's a big win worth keeping an eye on. And that's basically it. So now we're literally 1 minute away from the market starting to open up, and we can see what we want to pick up. And what do we want to pick up today? Other than that, the rest of the stocks that are in my portfolio, pretty much a lot of green today, which is always a good start to the week. I want to keep my eyes on Nokia. Oh, did I close it? I think I closed it. All right. Well, get rid of Luminal for now because that's not making a move today, but it's something that I just wanted to put in everyone's eyes. So now, with Nokia going up like this, there's a good chance that this can break. Right now, we would just want it to break 6 first and see what happens with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and submit a buy order to. Well, I'm gonna wait until 9:30, but I'm gonna be using limit orders. So remember, we talked about this in the last session we did last week, where whatever app you're using to buy stocks, when you're doing day trading, that is usually a great idea. You see, as soon as the market started up, we can see that it went down a little bit. It's better to use the limit order technique to actually submit a price that you want to buy it at, so that the order only fills if it goes to the price you want to buy it at, and not just put you in on a higher price because it was at that high price the exact second where you clicked buy now. Alright, so it's 9:30. We've started the day. Let's see what's going to happen. Here we are. Some of the orders. So, of course, everyone who submitted their buy orders, those orders are now getting filled. Right? So, you want to wait until like at least 9:40 for those orders to all fill in, see what happens. And it's really annoying, but the first 10 minutes are everyone who submitted an order pre-market opening, those orders being submitted in. And then as those orders lead to results, after those first 20 minutes, people who felt like just selling right away are going to sell, or maybe more people are going to jump on and buy. So you don't know what's going to happen. So monitoring all of that is literally the hardest part of day trading so far, and it's been pretty annoying. But you know, it's kind of what the game is all about, I guess. And as usual, remember not to be greedy, right? You get your gain, you take it, and you stay happy with it, and then if more is happening, then it's happening. It doesn't matter. If you got your gain for the day, you got your gain for the day. That's it. Alright, let's see what we're gonna do. So now it's actually looking pretty stable at 520. It's just chilling at 520. And again, I would gladly pick it up at 520, but only if it's going to be going up. I'm already in at a 516 average with the 10 stocks I picked up like a very long time ago. Just for fun. So in the next 10 minutes, we should know what we're going to be jumping in on. And let's keep okay, so EVFM isn't jumping today, so I'm going to close this right now too. It's just something I wanted to put on people's radar. But let's keep AMC there just to keep an eye on what's happening. Looks like it's coming back down a little bit. There might be an entry point where I kind of do try it out today, but Orbital Energy is still doing its thing, so we're gonna go ahead and try it. I'm gonna jump on OEG. Let's buy this and see how that goes. Because this is looking like, with the whole energy trend that's been happening last week, we looked at VTNR that went up 400%, right? So something might be happening there. I'm gonna submit a limit order for, what's that, 617? Okay. So I'm going to limit order. I'm going to set a price of 615. I don't want to, actually we'll keep it to, I'll just set it to 617. Let's get in at 617 since it's there right now. Market hours only till today, and number of shares. So yeah, I could pick up 1,000 shares. So I'll just pick up 1,000 shares of this and see how that goes. So that order should get filled in. Okay, let's see. So wait, since it came back down, actually, I'm gonna cancel that limit order real quick. Oh, we're good. Okay, 612. So it put me in at a lower price than what we were at. That's good. So when you put a limit order, right, it means that you won't get in at anything higher than that. You'll get in at that price, or anything lower if it goes lower. So it caught it at 612, and we are fine here. The goal for Orbital Energy today is that apparently it will break $7. So we'll watch for that, because the last barrier it needed to break was 615, which it was at right when we looked at it a little while ago. AMC is on its way down again, so that's wonderful. If I see that this may make a big jump up, then we'll think about it, but I'm not really too inclined on that. I'm just gonna keep that open right there. And the last thing some people are looking at is WPG, which you see, like, it's also very affordable. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump on this wagon as well real quick, because it's a penny stock. So how much has it actually gone up? It went up like 20 cents. Okay, let's see. WPG. Intel Energy came back down under 6, which is always pretty lame. Let's see what happens with that by the end of the day. So WPG also on the way down now. So this thing, again, it broke 615. It's making this trend right now, but it should be coming back up. And if you didn't get in with me, then if you're watching, you can definitely get in at whatever point this stops going down and come back up with it. But it's gonna go up hopefully to 7. I mean, none of this is ever solid, but that's the aim there. So let's see what happens with that. And WPG, Washington Prime Group, is Ohio Real Estate. This one is just happening because of the meme stuff again too. This was also happening last week, where it had its moments of increasing randomly. You know, like all of last week it was just going up, but it had too many moments where it was going up and down in very lame manners. Yeah, Nokia trying to do something. It's being very slow, but it's trying to do something. I'm gonna pick up more of this too. I'm gonna pick up more Nokia right here because it's pretty cheap, and again, if it's gonna go up, then so be it. $24. I picked up 990 more stocks just to make it a grand 1,000. OEG on its way down, much better entry point at this price. WPG still going up. I didn't fill the order for it though. I want to wait for it when it comes down. Nokia's doing good, and that's about it for today, I guess, because not much happening. So basically for today, I'll be holding this out until it goes over 6, because it had its jump today, and it should continue. All of last week was news, but it never actually made a big jump, and then now today it's jumping. So we'll watch for that. WPG, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. This looks like a little one that's again in front of us. It went up from 255 to 275, and today it's jumped in general almost 25% up already. And then Nokia, cause just for meme shit, right? AMC is being stable above 30, which is very hopeful. If anyone is holding AMC, then there's a huge chance that this is gonna break over into 40 and 45. But again, it depends on a lot of things, and I'm not even sure how long this whole meme week thing is gonna last, because it's taking away from other stocks, right? So generally speaking, if it's meme week and people are only investing into all these AMC and Nokia and stuff like that, GameStop, then people don't actually pay any attention to any of these other stocks that need or are actually deserving some reason to be skyrocketing. So yeah, that's it for now, and then in tomorrow's recap we'll see how some of these gains went and we'll work with that. Thanks a lot for joining, guys.